Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Every week, I'm dropping 3 full-on videos, plus a couple of shorts to help you improve your public speaking, social skills, emotional intelligence, and much more. Join the tribe by hitting that subscribe button right on below. Hit that bell notification and never miss another video again. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing a pretty embarrassing story with a couple of lessons in regards to online communication. Did you ever meet that one person who seems very cool offline? They're very polished, straightforward. They don't seem to be a weirdo or anything. But online, it's a completely different story. You guys add each other, let's say on Facebook. You go through their profile, and this dude is a straight up weirdo. Big block paragraphs, goofy pictures of very close selfies, making a ridiculous face, and just spreading negative energy. That's when you're like, wait a minute, which one is real? Is it the online version or the offline version? Actually, that's not even a good question. Since this guy is such a weirdo online, I don't know if I want to even interact with this person offline. Point being, online communication has a huge influence in terms of perception, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people who use online communication in a very silly sort of way. Human beings are naturally very creative creatures. When someone's like, well, I'm not feeling creative, I don't have any ideas for YouTube videos. If you look at them, you'll notice that they know how to whine. If they know how to whine, what is whining energy? It's creative energy. You're using your imagination, you're using your emotions, and you're channeling it into something, which is you spreading deflating energy. How about you channel it in a completely different way? Whining becomes even easier because you have a Facebook page, right? We'll come back to this idea, but first, let me tell you about this guy named Rafi. See, Rafi is someone that I knew for a long time, and I used to find him very annoying. One of the reasons why was because he used his Facebook page to portray himself as some sort of sports expert, and I didn't really think that he knew about sports that well. Wait, let me even rewind a little bit more and I'll come back to this point shortly. I knew Rafi because I used to play basketball with him when I was in my high school years. And it was myself, Rafi, and a few other people where we would play in a place called Lake Lytle. Now here's the thing, in Lake Lytle, we all had our strengths. I was known for the 3-point shot. Your boy was Steph Curry in the making. My brother was great at defense. One of the other guys was great at rebounding. But Rafi wasn't really good at anything. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on the guy or anything, but he wasn't that talented. What he did have, though, were glasses. Like these big Harry Potter looking glasses. And it gave him the illusion of being smart, right? So since he didn't have any other strengths on the basketball court, the other friends, we were like, this guy, he's the professor. He's a coach, right? That's the value that he brings on the team. And this compliment got to Rafi's head. He started to view himself as this floor general, and he would always correct the different players. It's like, Armani, you should have been here, not here. Hey, pick up your man. And he's over here just shouting all these commands, fooling himself. So one day, what happens is Rafi is not in this basketball court with us. Myself and a few people were trying to dunk a ball, right? I tried the first time, I failed. I tried the second time, I failed. I go up to, let's say, 20 tries, failing. But the 21st try, I was like to my friend, hey, record this. I have a good feeling about this. So I go up, I try to dunk the ball again, and boom, I dunked the ball. See, for a brown guy, this is a big news. It's like, what? You dunked a ball in Lake Lytle? That doesn't happen. Added to this, this guy recorded the video. It's still on YouTube, by the way. I checked. And not only did he record the video, my friends that were there, they screamed in such an organic way when I dunked the ball. You could sense the surprise, like, whoa, we weren't expecting that. We thought you were just going to fail again. So I got this amazing clip and I posted it on Facebook, and a lot of my friends were giving me props. They were like, man, I play in Lake Lytle all the time. I didn't know you could dunk. And this was giving me this made me feel good because I didn't really have much going on for me in high school. But this Rafi guy, he comments, he's like, I hope you're aware that the Lake Lytle rims are smaller than all the other rims out there. So you didn't do that good of a job. See, this pissed me off because I'm like, I thought we were supposed to be boys. I thought we were all in the same crew. Why are you over here tearing down this accomplishment of mine in public? You're over here being very well thought out, but in my regards, not in a good way. Who cares if the rim is a little bit smaller, which I wasn't even aware of. It wasn't smaller when you had your good games, which were very rare, but suddenly it becomes smaller when one of your friends is having a good moment. I see. See, I didn't know at the time. I thought it was like, okay, I closed my laptop and whatever. I went back to my ways. But that moment with Rafi really pissed me off. I just didn't know it at the time. Now, come back to this moment I was telling you about where he's over here nowadays spreading all this basketball knowledge. There was this one time when he was over here talking about how the Miami Heat's coach should have been coach of the year, which anyone that watches basketball, they would have been like, no, he had a great late run, but for the most part, it shouldn't go to him. But Rafi was over here making this logical case for why it should be. And by then, I didn't really watch basketball like that. I was, I believe, in college at the time. I should have let it slide. But something in me was like, no, I'm not going to let it slide. I'm going to tear down his argument. So I began commenting on his status and I began tearing down his argument, proving to him why he was biased. And Rafi wasn't going to let this slide. He started to attack my arguments back. We began debating left and right, these big block paragraphs. And I was very unrecognizable at the time because I barely use Facebook at all. But here I am giving this guy a lot of energy. And the one thing I knew was I was not going to give him the last word. And the more that we were just going back and forth, the more heated that it was becoming. Eventually, our friends were seeing what was going on, and they were like dropping into the comment section. They're like, yo, guys, chill out. And I'm like, no, I'm going to tear down his argument. And if I was being real, I wasn't really just trying to tear down his argument. I was trying to tear him down, just like he was trying to tear me down a couple of years beforehand. The emotions were involved. The narrative was involved. And I was just going back and forth. And eventually, Rafi had enough. He's like, all right, Armani, whatever, think whatever you want. Then he stopped responding back. Now here was the thing. Once he was done responding back, temporarily, I felt really good. I was like, yes, I've avenged myself, the younger me that dunked and that didn't know any way to fight back against Rafi's criticisms. Me right now, I've defended myself. Then I started to calm down. As I started to calm down, what I noticed were a bunch of words staring back at me, words of rage that I was just writing with, looking back at me at a state when I was calm. And that's when I was like, damn, this is very real. That moment taught me that, first of all, you never know what venting really means. Because at that moment, I thought that I was just over here tearing down Rafi's Miami Heat argument. But what I was really doing was I was operating with a revenge mindset. Two, the entire communication was seamless. I was just able to type away. I never had to make eye contact with the guy, so it made it easy for me to just write whatever I wanted. And three was, eventually, the emotions come and go, but the consequences can come and stay. And the consequences were now staying because I made myself look like a fool to a lot of mutual friends. I'm pretty sure they forgot about it. I mean, hopefully they did. It's been over a decade. But I just thought about this moment recently where I realized online communication is very different than offline communication, because offline communication, you could always skew, right? If I was able to, debate back and forth with Rafi, I'm sure there would be some memories, but a lot of it would be faded towards my favor. I'd be like, well, I was right in this scenario. But with online communication, once the time has passed, the facts are staring right back at you. And when I'm looking at that, I'm like, man, like this is not good for me at all. So point being, a lot of individuals nowadays, unfortunately, don't see the bigger picture. Just like I too did not see the bigger picture in that argument session. But with online communication, what you do is not just relevant for a certain period. It's relevant for a long, long time. And you can always go back to it and be like, whoa, I can't believe I was behaving like that, especially for the world to see. Some people will behave like that because they're trying to avenge their younger self. And some people will just behave like that because they don't know any better. The smart thing to do with online communication is to understand that you're in a renaissance period. Individuals can start TV stations, radio shows, newspapers, all on their own. So why not use it to build assets, build value, build houses on the internet, rather than debating with the Rafis of your life? Be very, very wary of how you conduct yourself online, because eventually it can always come back and bite you in the butt. So if you enjoyed today's talk and you want to learn more about a variety of different angles of communication skills, be sure to check out the ArmaniTalks free daily newsletter. This newsletter is completely unfiltered, and I share a lot of different stories on social skills, public speaking, emotional resilience, and much more. Thousands of people have signed up. What are you waiting for? Join the tribe by checking out the links in the description box, the pinned comment, or go on ArmaniTalks.com/newsletter and sign up today. Thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you next time.